Hello Captains, it's me TONIK TZW, and with over 500 ships now to play, I've been going through and playing things that I don't normally play, and this one is the legendary tier Japanese cruiser, the Zao, and as you can see from the splash screen there, this turns into my best game ever in this ship with a substantial damage score and a more than respectable base XP score. Was going to say global XP there, but before we start, just remember that if you do like the content on this channel, you can stick a super thanks on a video, you can take out a very low price channel membership, or you can make a direct contribution using PayPal, and Charlie does get 50% of it. But on to the ship itself. Now, I couldn't remember where I get this camo from, so I went in and took a screenshot, and it's there. It's called the Zaya. It's a space cruiser camo. But this is the modules that we're running on it, and we'll go through them one at a time. We've got aiming systems mod 1 to reduce our dispersion, and then we have got steering gears mod 2 to reduce our rudder shift time, concealment system mod 1 just to give us a little bit of extra safety at range, and then gunfire control system mod 2. The torpedoes, we've got the long-range torpedoes selected on there, although that one shows that it's not. As far as my captains and inspirations go, we're running Haguro, whose base trait is the deck is on fire. We then take Grenadier with Andrew Rue as the inspiration, Nikolai Kuchysov for some extra range as well. And then we've got Beyond Range. And second slot, we're running Igniter to increase our fire starting chance. And then we've got the special skill Hellfire, which gives us extra HE pen and damage. Fixated to give us better grouping and reduced dispersion, and then refill station to reduce our main battery reload time. We are here on Scandinavia. We are top tier, obviously being legendary. It's a legendary and tier 8 match, and it seems to be fairly balanced. Quite a few big ships out there, and with this being a Japanese cruiser, I don't want to be broadside, do I? No, you don't, TONIK. So I am in division here with my buddy Otto, who's in the Yamato, and he's going to kind of stay fixed in position and try to cover both flanks with his Yami from where he's at. There are two destroyers in the game. We've got a Z44 on my left. Can't remember what the guy is on the right, but let's just say that I'm not going to be happy about this Z44. But when am I ever happy with a destroyer player? So we've got the Whiskey and I want to say it's a Wisconsin and a Giuseppe Verdi out there. That Giuseppe Verdi could obviously be running radar, I think it has, which wouldn't work for our Z44. But the second that our guy gets contested on cap, he's going to make a beeline for the two battleships that have sailed all the way behind the island and missed out on putting a salvo at two completely broadside battleships. And we get 7 shatters there. We get 1 fire, which is immediately damage controlled. And as much as it would be great to be able to try and get a fire on him again, the Whiskey appears, meaning that he's fired. We slow down, the shots go over the top of us, and we're going to just stay on the back turrets, knowing that the Giuseppe can't get onto us from where he is. But that Whiskey is sailing too close to the island for us to get another shot. Now you'll notice that our Z44 there has come off the cap, and he's not going to want to go back onto that capture point until such time as I am inside it. Yes, you know what I say about capture points. If you can't take it, at least try to contest it. There's a smoke screen going up at the bottom end of the cap. There is the Wisconsin. I'm not bow in, I'm stern in. I'm backing up, I'm still spotted. The destroyer is trying to keep that Wisconsin hidden, but obviously we do have a line of sight from the destroyer, but he's still not contesting the cap. You know, it would be absolutely brilliant, because with me backing him up, we could take care of the destroyer We're going to start moving it again. Are we going to try and blind fire another 2 turrets? Yes, we are. And then we're going to come away, go dark. We get a fire on the whiskey. We have a quick look at the damage total, and we see that that one is indeed ticking for a little while. Giuseppe Verdi hiding behind the island, and although it looks like our destroyer is trying to make his way onto the cap, he's not. All he's doing is waiting for his torpedoes to reload, and then he's going to be firing them down the flank. We get a quick view across there of, I want to say it's a Delaware. It's either a Delaware or a Nebraska. We'll see it later. There we go. It is a Delaware. And I'm asking this destroyer to please get onto the capture point, because this Wisconsin and the Giuseppe Verdi are not going to take any prisoners. They are going to push. I get spotted firing my guns, which means I'm line of sight to a destroyer, and there he is at 10 kilometers. I don't know how he's got himself spotted. I'm guessing it's the Z44, but we've only got 2 turrets there. I'm trying to keep my bow in towards the Nebraska, but I realize that I'm going to have to go against this Schultz. So we're going to put 2 more turrets onto him. He is burning. We're going to get a good hit on him again. Fires are still ticking. Now, what is this Schultz going to do? He hasn't got a smoke available. He is getting shot at by the Z44. He realizes that the position is not good for him. We blind fire there. We get an incapacitation on his rudder. We get the fire. He's going to tick out, but now the Z44 takes the kill. But having wanted to push in to this capture point, I realize that I'm now in a very sticky position, because that Delaware is out there. There is the radar from the Giuseppe Verdi. I imagine that our destroyer is now turning his trousers brown, but I am going to get in here behind this island, and this thing does have torpedoes, and we've got 2 racks on each side, so we're going to put the first salvo out there. I'm trying to keep myself screened on my right side from the Delaware. We're waiting for our rear turrets coming in, but we're going to put the second set of torpedoes across there as well. And yeah, I am broadside to 2 battleships. I'm not currently spotted. We can get our rear turrets across there. Z44 has got his torps on. The 2 battleships back there on the top right hand corner are reversing around the island and leaving me to the mercy of these 2 battleships. But we're going to pick up a devastating strike on the Giuseppe Verdi. We also land a torpedo on the Wisconsin, I believe, and then we're going to come around the corner. I'm still wary of where the Nebraska is. This guy's secondaries are going to open up on me. Probably should have loaded Armor Peterson at this point, but we get a decent hit, and as we're waiting for the reload again, there we go, the Navaran picks up the kill. But look at this, we've got 3 ships there that spawned on this cap that are still nowhere near it, and I am slap bang in the middle of it with most of my turrets pointing in the wrong direction. But thankfully the Delaware has pushed round, but he is not impervious to shots across the top, and the fact that I'm not spotted firing those guns means that I can take this cap. Our Z44 is finally growing a pair of balls to put in his sack, and he is going to come in and take a cap assist with me. Now Otto there is at the back, and he's doing a sterling job in providing basically a barricade to Red Team, who have had 3 caps for a lot of this game, but we do have a lead on ships because they have no destroyers left. We've taken down 4, they have only taken down 2, and I am now going to push this flank as hard as I can and see if I can force that Delaware out from behind the island as we lose our defense. Brisbane, Des Moines, Delaware, BA Montana, and I didn't see what the last ship was there. I think it was a whiskey. But we're going to keep the pressure on this Delaware. He has got a fire. It is ticking, and what we want to do is try and keep the shots on him, try and get a double fire, and at the same time we are going to push across towards Charlie Cap. Now, with some big ships out there, and with me not exactly being the fastest or most maneuverable cruiser in this game, I'm going to have to be careful about my play and positioning. We know where the Delaware was, we can see where there is a cruiser, and we can see where the BA Montana was last spotted, all the way across there at B8. Now, I'm quite sure that he could delete me in one salvo. Otto there at the back is calling out for intelligence data. It would be wonderful if our destroyer would actually spot, but apparently he sets himself up in a smokescreen there in the middle of the map. I don't know why, but that's what was called to me across the comms. And there is the BA Montana, and look at this, just before he disappears behind the island, we're going to get a salvo out across there. We aren't spotted. And I think that is going to get us the first fire on that guy. He is still very much full health. But there we go. There is one fire. We're on 160,000 damage. And it was this point that Otto called out and said that he was on 150,000 damage. And I went, we're doing a good job. You know, just try and hold them from pushing there. And I said, I'll tell you what I'm on at the end of the game, because it's still going up. The BA Montana there, we pick up a high caliber. That's a second fire. We need to hold fire now, I think, until such time as we get this cap turned. There's 10 seconds. Montana has fired his gun. Delaware there behind the island. He's bow tanking the Yamato and the rest of the guys, and there's another fire which is going to be immediately damage controlled. 192,000 damage. I'm very wary of where this BA Montana is. There we go. It was to be expected. One fire has gone out. He's still got one ticking. He's put 2 turrets at me, 2 somewhere else, and we did turn out and slam on the brakes there. But this Delaware also fancies a bit of me, but we've got 3 caps. We can afford to lose a ship, but that isn't to say that I want to die. So we're going to start moving again. BA Montana picked up another fire, and that one is ticking as well. Not sure about the Delaware. Has he just damage controlled the fire again? Yes, he has. We're going to put shots out. The BA Montana is going to go out of range of us, I think, before we can get another salvo on. We're still spotted by the Delaware, but the Z44 finally picks himself up a kill with his torpedoes. Well done. It's only taken you the entire game. Montana's now out of range, but it is game over there, and a very hard fought one, taking a few risks, picking up 217 and almost 1,500 damage, high caliber witherer, and a devastating strike. We get a solo cap and a cap assist with 1 kill and 3 assists, but hitting the top of the board there with just over 3,300 base XP. Not a bad game, really, all in. I would have liked to have seen some better destroyer play. Certainly on that cap, we could have gotten rid of that DD a little bit earlier. A reminder there on how you can support the channel, and what I will say is, if you have enjoyed this video, please do smash that like button, leave me a comment, let me know what your best game in the ZOW is if you've got it. Subscribe if you haven't, tell your friends to come and subscribe as well, and as always, until next time, take care of yourselves and goodbye.